Hello everybody, today is September 17th, Thursday, September 17th, and I am Ashley Fields with Yard Us, and tonight we are going to be painting our triple stack pumpkins that are behind me. Let's see, give me 1 second, I'm going to get my comments pulled up, and we are going to actually hop in kind of rather quickly today, because we've got quite a bit to cover. So, hey Debbie, how are you doing? I'm so glad you're here, honey. It is, I can definitely tell fall is on the way. It's not near as hot in here, and the humidity is a little bit lower. So hopefully me having my hair down, it's not gonna be sticking to me. But we are going to be doing our triple stack pumpkins tonight. So I have the plain version over here and then the whimsical version. We're gonna focus more on the whimsical, and while I'm doing that, when we start shading our whimsical, I'll show you guys how to shade the plain version. So we'll kind of hop back and forth between the two, but most of the focus for tonight is going to be over our whimsical version. So, hey Mackenzie. Mackenzie says, love the pumpkins. Thank you so much. I love them too, y'all. I have to say, this piece really has inspired me doing a lot more painted pieces that I sell. So I had somebody ask me earlier if I sell the triple stack in this version, and I don't. And the reason for that is because the amount of time that it takes for me to put all the energy into doing this triple stack pumpkin, I really can't make any money off of it as far as my time is concerned. So I did make several of these pumpkins that are just singles that have stripes and polka dots and plaid, and I can't seem to keep enough of them in stock. So I do have single versions that I do sell, but if you want the triple stack version, you guys are gonna have to paint it. So I'm gonna show you how to do that tonight. And this version also, I'm gonna show you a little bit different. This one I outlined in red, orange, number 19, but tonight we're actually gonna do our outlining and our shading all in shading orange. So we're gonna go ahead and get started. And first thing I'm gonna have to do is obviously get my tape on here. So before I tell you all that, I did do one coat of white, just plain white as a base. And then I came in and did scarecrow white on the top and the bottom pumpkin and light orange in the middle. As far as my leaves go, that's lime green and then reindeer brown. So I did white as my base because, I'm trying to see what size tape I want. I think I want the smaller version. Because that scarecrow white can be very see-through and opaque. And so if you put white underneath it, you'll get a little bit better coverage out of the scarecrow. So hey Pam, I'm so glad you're here. Carla, Lynn, thank you guys so much. Mackenzie, how tall are they? I want to say they're 28 inches tall. The version I have in front of me is a little bit bigger. It's not the same size as the blank. It is, I think, about 6 inches bigger. But the blank, I believe, is 28 inches tall. Please don't quote me on that. I might have to double check my listing. But it is on our website at yardoftheus.com underneath our listing for our blanks, the triple stack pumpkin. And you could find that information there as well. Hey, Brian. Hello, Lynn. All right, y'all. I am using 1.44 inch wide tape. So 1 44/100 wide tape. I also have a thicker one. This one is 1 88/100 wide, so really 2 inches almost, and 1.5 inches. I'm choosing to use the 1.5 inches because I feel like the 2 inch might be a little bit too wide, and I'm not gonna end up having many stripes. Or, you know, my plaid might not look as good. So I just set my first piece down. These are just for my horizontal stripes right now, okay? So my second piece is kind of my trash piece. It's really my spacer. I'm only using it to make sure that every piece I put down is the same width apart. So I know I've done a plaid tutorial on here and in the academy before. So anybody who's caught those videos, you've already seen this portion. But yeah, I'm just using that tape to make sure I got my spacing down. And then just coming right up to it and butting right up to that tape. And what that is going to do is just make sure that every line that we have on here is the same width apart from each other. So for my stripes on the top, there's my tape. I'm gonna go ahead and flip it around, and I'm going to do my plaid. Now, when it comes to doing plaid, you can always do it horizontal and vertical, but I feel like it is a lot easier if you do it at a diagonal, because for me, I'm not the best at always being level, right? I eyeball things, you know, and it's not always perfect. So I really like the vertical because it just gives me a little bit more kind of a wiggle room. I accidentally threw away my trash piece and that one got a little bit messed up. So I kind of just start with one diagonal, no real right or wrong on which way to go. But I've been painting these pumpkins, the single pumpkins plaid, like crazy. In fact, I made 21 medium and large of them yesterday and today because I had sold out at the store last weekend whenever I brought them out. So I had to go make me a lot more. So this is just kind of, y'all, I feel like I've been taping and taping and taping and taping. I've gone through, I think, about 4 rolls of tape in the last maybe week. So I've been using it like crazy. Hey, Paula. Paula says, have been waiting for this one for several weeks. I am so glad that you waited because I am here tonight and we are gonna get this done. And I'll show you guys everything that I've done with it. And I don't know about y'all, but I just really, really love this style. I know whenever we did our sneak peek for our fall patterns, which I think was like July 31st, but we did that sneak peek and I showed you guys this one. I don't know if you could see it over here in the corner. You can kind of see the turquoise one. I showed you guys that blank, but then, you know, since July, once I have time to really sit down and play with stuff, I end up changing what I want to do. And so I kind of came up with the more subtle whimsical, meaning I'm only using light orange and scarecrow. And then, you know, obviously doing my shading. But other than that, it just really, it keeps everything in that same color family, but then you can get kind of fun and funky with it at the same time. So almost done. Honestly, y'all, taping is just one of those things. It just takes a little time. And so yesterday, my husband came home and cooked dinner. He was so sweet. He cooked dinner. And then after dinner, he said, well, is there anything else I can help you do? I said, yeah, come in here and tape. I had 21 pumpkins to tape. And so he was out here last night helping me. So I showed him how to tape and he got to taping and then I came up behind him and I was painting and we were just rocking and rolling. It was so nice. But taping all by yourself when you're taping like 20 at a time, not the funnest. But, all right. Hey, Lauren. Hey, Dawn. I'm so glad you're here. Hey, Dee. All right, y'all, I just started with my tape, so this is 1.5 inch. Now, you guys have seen this. I'm using baby wipes. I ran out of the baby wipes I had, so I actually went on Amazon, and this was like the only one with the pop top I could get in a day. So I ordered like a box of 10 of these. I don't know when I'm gonna use them all, but hey, I got the baby wipes. So baby wipes and light orange paint. It really, hold on, let me also make sure I'm pushing down on all this tape. That is quite important. You want to make sure that none of those edges are up or you're gonna get bleeding underneath that. So, all right, start with it just a little bit. Ooh, that might actually be a lot, but that's okay. I might have to, there we go. So what I'm doing is I am following along the same angle that my tape is. I want these lines, my stripes that are gonna become my plaid, I want that stroke that's on there that I'm actually using with the baby wipe to create, but I want that stroke to be, again, that same angle that my tape is. So notice I'm not using a lot of paint. I'm really only using a little bit, and then I'm pulling it all the way across. In some sections you'll see, or some of these lines, I'm not even adding more paint. I'm only using what I have existing in my wipey. So if you're somebody who does multiple projects at a time like I do, you'll notice that you can really use this wipey and you can do a ton of these, and the more and more and more you go, the less paint you'll be using. So I want you guys to see how it's still very see-through and opaque, and I'm going for that look. I like that look. I'm doing that on purpose. I don't want it to be fully light orange, because at that point there's no point in me even using the baby wipes to kind of get that see-through look. At that point I could just use a brush. But I want it to look a little bit more see-through and kind of like wispy. So that is why we're doing the baby wipe. Not only that, it also dries really fast. And so that's always a good thing in my world whenever I'm trying to paint. And I'm having to think, y'all, hold on. But whenever I'm trying to paint, obviously for me, I need to move fast. Now, y'all, whenever I'm painting this pattern, I actually do not paint the leaves before I do my stripes. So I only had this already base coated and ready due to being on a live. Other than that, I would have never painted this green. I would have not even done the stalk. I would have just done my stripes first and then come in and added my green. But obviously for the sake of a live, I don't have the time for that. So I had to kind of go around my leaves. Now looky there. See up close? You can still see through. You can see the streaks, right? It's not too dark. It's not too bold. That's exactly what I'm looking for. That's exactly what I'm trying to achieve. So let me take the tape off the bottom down here. And on the plaid, obviously, we just have to go the opposite direction. So let me hit the blow dryer for just maybe 10 seconds, then we should be good. Dee says it's blowing her mind with the baby wipes. Yes, I had done a tutorial. I know I did one in the academy, but then I'm trying to remember what video I did in here. Oh, it was the Happy Fall banner with pumpkins, and we did the pumpkins in plaid and polka dot. That's when I also showed you that. So yes, get you some baby wipes, honey. They are the best. And you know, there is some baby wipes that are more stiff and there's some that are really soft. I've been personally using the real soft ones, not the stiff ones. I don't know if the stiff ones would work or not, because again, I haven't used them, but you know, they might be just the same. So, all right, now for our plaid, we are going to take our tape and obviously flip it the complete opposite direction, or we'll do a 180. Now, I also want to warn you guys, this can become diamond shape instead of square. I am going for the square, okay? Notice my plaid down here? They look like squares. If I were to turn this the wrong way, all of my little squares that are right here kind of become elongated diamonds. So you might want to pay attention when you're taping to make sure you're getting the direction that you want. Maybe you want the elongated diamonds. Me personally, I don't. So when I actually come and I'm laying that tape down, I'm looking through the tape at my lines and making sure that I have, you know, a perfect cross before I start taping. Once I have that down, I'm good. So get our trash piece. I haven't been doing the best job of making sure I'm in the camera frame. So Mackenzie says, that's amazing. Last question. What brand of paint do you use? We use Clark & Kensington. But any exterior house paint, latex house paint, anything you can go get at Home Depot or Lowe's or wherever your, you know, whatever your supplier is for outdoor stuff and paint, then, you know, go there. Sherwin-Williams is fine too. Me personally, I've never been a big person on Sherwin-Williams. I don't care for their paint, but there's other people that live and swear by Sherwin-Williams. But I've not felt that they have the best paint for us. So Carla says, this is just awesome. Thank you, Carla. Hey, Lauren, how are you doing, hun? I hope you've enjoyed your week. We actually have a wedding to go to this weekend. So I was on the phone earlier and I made me and Carly an appointment this weekend to go get our nails and toes done, which we might do twice a year. Maybe. We never go. And so the lady said, do you want your nails painted? I said, no, I'm a painter. I just want you to clean the dried paint off my nails. She started laughing. So we're looking forward to this weekend. We have, like I said, we have a wedding to go to, so we're going shopping and getting our nails done this weekend and all that fun stuff. So I don't know what you guys have planned this weekend, but I hope y'all get to enjoy it with your family or your friends, because those are the best kind of weekends. And I've already also decided I think I'm taking off work this weekend. Y'all, I just looked up, I'm sitting here talking too much, and I noticed I'm getting a little off on my, my stripes over here. Okay. Sometimes maybe I shouldn't be talking so much. So almost done. Honestly, the taping takes longer than painting. When it comes to the plaid, definitely the taping takes way longer. Way longer. All right, so I've got my tape going the opposite direction. I'm gonna just push it down, make sure that I don't have any loose ends. I'm gonna still use this baby wipe because it's still wet. As long as your baby wipe's still wet, it'll work. So, hey Danae, how are you, hun? Let me add a little paint. Y'all, another thing that I've noticed, I don't know, I know some of you guys get to paint indoors, but if you're like me and you paint outdoors, I have noticed that this can dry really quickly. And so the other day I had put some paint down and I loaded my wipe, right? And then I left it like that. And I went over here and I was doing this. And by the time I came back to here and I went to, you know, kind of wipe that paint out, it looked terrible. And you could see the dried paint through my plaid and I did not care for it. So take advice from me and don't do it the wrong way like I did. As soon as you lay that paint down, go ahead and smooth it out before you move on to your next stripe. I hope that I can save y'all from an end result that you don't care for, because I did not care for my end result. Now, luckily, I was doing 20 or 30 of them at a time, so I was like, it mixes in, whatever, you know, no big deal. But, you know, it happens. So this is the reason I use Scarecrow White in the background, because I actually tried this in many different ways, like using orange in the background, using plain white, using shading. I tried everything and I didn't care for it. But look at this Scarecrow in the background with that light orange. How pretty is that? And what I really love about the plaid is those places, the little squares or diamonds where it does that crisscross. It's got a little bit of a darker hue to it. And that's what I love about this, is I use that same paint color, but all those little crisscross patches, it almost looks like it's a different color. So very pretty. Aw, thank you, Kelly. Kelly says she's been hoping to catch me teaching that. Yep, well, we are here tonight, honey. Okay, y'all. So as far as the plaid and my stripes go, obviously I'm good, I'm done. So right quick, I need to throw some lime green on the vines, because like I told you guys earlier, I typically don't paint the flowers or the vines. I mean, not the flowers, excuse me, the leaves or the vines until after I've already done the stripes. But I had to obviously get the leaves done. So I couldn't really get the vines done because I knew I was gonna come right over top of them with that paint. So let me just I'm just taking a little bit of lime green. This is just my script liner. Kind of get it on here and let it be drying while we are working on polka dots. And then I'll also pull over our plain Jane one and show you guys shading on that one and outlining on that one. And then we'll come back and finish this one up. So this is definitely the showcase piece for the evening, but we will spend about maybe 5 minutes or so on the plain version. So Danae says, you see how my orange background turned out today? Not a fan. You know what, Danae? First off, do you know how many times me or my mom or anybody who's been painting items have painted something and we didn't like it? I can't tell you how many times. I can't tell you how many times I've thrown it in the burn pile out back because I had put so much energy into it and I didn't like the outcome and I didn't want to mess with it anymore. I literally say, throw it in the burn pile because I'm done. And then I get a new one and I start over. So I totally understand. You know, it's one of those things that you just kind of have to keep going and keep playing with it. For me, I have found that lighter colors in my background really are going to bring the whimsical look that I'm going for to life. So that's a personal preference for me. I think everybody's gonna have, you know, their own kind of way of wanting to do it. I'm trying to see, I did rather large polka dots on that one, so maybe I'll get the bigger one. So hang in there. You know, sometimes too, best thing to do is walk away and leave it and come back in like a few days or a week or a couple weeks or whenever, you know, when you're ready to mess with it again. That also helps. Hey, Melissa. Hey, Phaedra. I'm so glad everybody's here tonight. I think y'all were all looking forward to the triple stacked, which honestly, I've been knowing that this was coming up on September 17th, and I've been excited about this one, really excited about this one. I could not wait to show y'all this. This pattern has been, I'm gonna say, probably my biggest blank seller for fall, hands down. So I know a lot of you guys have been purchasing it and working with it. So I'm glad to see that. I hope y'all are enjoying it and loving your outcome, just as I have been. So any of y'all that are local and, you know, follow our stores page or my friends on Facebook or anything like that, then y'all will know that I've been painting these plaid and whimsical version pumpkins like crazy. And I just cannot keep them in stock. Everybody loves them. So I think it's just one of those things that the patterns are just in this year. I got a lot of bubbles on those polka dots. So y'all, this is the Martha Stewart 1.5 inch sponge dauber. So now I have plaid, polka dot, and stripes. This is scarecrow white. Every single thing on here, on my pumpkins, is all scarecrow white, light orange so far. That's it. Same color scheme, same everything. So, hey Terry, how are you, honey? Danae says, I've painted like 4 of these things already. Laugh out loud, I couldn't wait for this live. Awesome. I'm so glad y'all are here. Y'all, this one is so fun. It really, really is fun. I love getting to play with different techniques and, you know, having different textures kind of there. So, okay. Now I'm going to, let me hit the binds with the blow dryer right quick, and then I'm gonna set it over. I wanna kind of give it something to start drying because I need this to be dry so we can finish this. Yep, Terry says, walk away and come back later. Great advice, definitely. Right before you throw it in the burn pile. Exactly, exactly. I have different people, you know, have worked for me over the years, and they've all been around when I'm throwing stuff in the burn pile. Like, no, don't burn it. Can I have it? I said, yeah, take it. I don't care anything, but get it away from me because I've had enough of it. All right, y'all. Here is our plain version, right? So I did 1 coat of white as a base and then 1 coat of light orange on top. You could do 2 coats of light orange. I personally like the way that my lighter colors look if I have white underneath them. Again, personal preference, but 2 coats of orange would be perfectly fine. Hey, Donna. All right, y'all, now I am going to grab my shader. This is a number 14. It's really a flat tip brush, but you know, a shader. And this one's a Royal Gold brush. So Royal Gold is the same brand of script liners. So that is my shader brush. And then now I am going to grab a shading orange. Let me get a spoon because it's kind of getting a little funky. So Danae says, also love that you can make these any color and they could still be used for fall. Exactly. That's exactly why I enjoy this. All right, y'all. So I'm gonna just do a little bit of shading on here so that you guys, if anybody who's wanting to do the plain version, you know how to do it. And then we're gonna basically hop back over to our whimsical because the end, you know, with your flower, I keep saying flowers, with your leaves and your stem and your vine, that's all gonna be the exact same. So right now, I'm obviously just shading with some shading orange. Now, also, I wanna show y'all a little trick. I've been meaning to get on here and show you guys this. So those of you that are here, you're gonna get to see it. If you struggle with making shading in long strokes, I want you to load your brush and take it and, hoping y'all can see this, dab a little paint where you're trying to go, okay? See how I have some dabbed? And dab a little bit. Okay? Then I'm gonna start and I'm gonna follow it all the way around. Because I dabbed that paint on there, it allowed that brush to keep moving in that same motion because I was picking up that paint that I dabbed. So if you struggle with getting long brush strokes, fill up the corner of your brush, dab it down a little bit, pull it on through. I hope that's a little helpful. I've been intending to get on and do a quick like 5-minute live and show you guys that, and I've been forgetting. I'm so sorry. So let's see. Paula says, good idea. Definitely use it, y'all. It's so easy. Deborah, hey Deborah, she says, just started mine today and made the top pumpkin black plaid. I love black plaid. I am so in love with that. Like I told you guys, I had that original one that I did. Those of you that were here back in July and that y'all saw my my sneak peek one, this one. Y'all know that I did obviously use black on here. I didn't care for this once I started doing my whimsical version, but that was my original one. So, you know, those of you that are working on it maybe don't like your outcome. Honey, I've been doing this a long time and I still don't always like my outcome. So no worries, just keep on going with it. So that on your plain pumpkins, this is really the same thing on any pumpkin. It's all really just following the lines and kind of coming in and adding a few swish marks, but it's nothing too crazy. So the only difference between this and the whimsical version is that I do add some shading strokes, you know, in here. Just a little bit, not much. And this is also why why I tell you guys that I don't actually paint my leaves and my stems to the end, because when I'm shading, I'm actually coming over top of those leaves, I keep saying leaf, on these little vines over here. Y'all, I cannot get my vocabulary together tonight. I'm all tongue twisted today. So typically when I'm painting these, I actually do all the finished work on my pumpkins and then come and do my leaves and my stem. Ta-da! Very easy. Now, only thing is too on here is you can outline with 2 different colors. You can outline with your regular shading orange, the same orange I just used. Or if you want a little bit more pop, you can outline in red orange. Sorry, y'all, this thing's big. So I love the red orange number 19 as an outline on the plain pumpkin because it just gives it a little bit more depth color and a lot more of a pop. But on the whimsical pumpkin, I did not like the red orange outline. So kind of can be a personal preference, but as far as the shading on the plain, it's as easy as that. So now we're gonna switch back to our whimsical version and we're gonna finish this one out because between the two, it's still the same techniques no matter what. So we're gonna kind of be done with that one and let's work on this one. All right, y'all. So first thing, same exact thing, I'm gonna start my shading. Now, I always start at the bottom because if you notice the pumpkin above it, if I bring those lines up here, I can clean them up on the next pumpkin up and the next pumpkin up, and you won't see so many, you know, stop and start points on my shading. So same thing, same brush, shading orange, come in. I always like to do a start and stop at where my lines start and stop. So if you're somebody who struggles with good shading lines that are fluid, take your brush, dab a little paint, dab it close to those lines though, and then come in, start, follow it all the way around. Nice and easy, y'all. I hope that little trick helps you guys. Next time you're painting, if you're struggling with the length of a line and getting that shading to go nice and flat all the way across, I want you to try that trick, and if it works for you, let me know. So I love to hear about, you know, success stories that you guys have, because sometimes as teachers, you know, when we're trying to teach you guys how to paint things, for us it's so natural that it might come off as we're maybe missing the boat sometimes on the teaching portion, because, you know, for us it's just, I don't think about it. Honestly, I paint in my sleep, literally. I have dreams of me painting, and then I wake up and I'm like, yeah, I thought I finished that. Oh no, just kidding. I dreamt that I finished that. I'm noticing my scarecrow polka dots are still a little bit wet, so I'm just gonna hit it right quick with a blow dryer. So Kelly says that tip might be gold. Awesome, Kelly. I'm glad to hear that. I'd love to hear back from you after you try it. Danae says, I like that when I think I got this painting thing down. Y'all come up with more tricks and tips. Love it. Good. I'm so glad. Like I said, we forget our own tips and tricks because it's second nature to us sometimes. So I don't think that we're always, maybe do a good job of explaining things or kind of remembering to tell you things. But I was working on my countdowns to Christmas the other day, and they are, I think they're 40 inches wide. And so I have straight 40-inch lines to shade. And y'all, it would drive me nuts if I had to sit here and shade, load, shade, load, shade, load. I can't stand that because my lines never come out straight. Oh, well, I'm already moving to the top. I haven't even done the middle. Hello, slow down. So that's what I actually do on my countdowns, is I dab the paint all the way across, and then I come back in and I go right over top of it. So Danae, help me remember in the academy, or Debbie, somebody that's in the academy, help me remember to do a quick video in there telling everybody about this. I've been meaning to. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, y'all. It's been crazy over here. The season has really started for us, our busy season at the store. And like I've already been running out of patterns here and there and yonder, and so I've been having to work really hard to try to make sure that I'm having everything that I need for the next weekend. If it's something I'm already sold out of, obviously I need more by the next weekend. And so today, Thursday, was kind of like my Friday because I have to go to the store tomorrow. We're filming a commercial tomorrow. And so I had to make sure that I got everything done today. So I actually worked really late last night. I think I worked out here till 9 painting. And then, I was out here early this morning and just trying to get all my stuff done. I got it done, but it took a minute. All right, so here we are so far. We got our shading done on the pumpkins. Only thing left for the pumpkins is outlining, but obviously I need some of this to dry. Let me clean out my brush a little bit, and we are going to shade, I'm trying to find my lid for my orange, who knows. But then we're gonna shade our leaves. I don't know where I put it. Oh, I see it, it's over here behind me. Now, on the leaves, I did do a little bit of paint mixing. I did a little bit of, or actually some Christmas green with a little bit of black. And that's what I'm actually using to shade in on my leaves. So let me see. I want to show you kind of the difference. So this is the color I mixed. A little bit of Christmas green and black. There is shading green, so you can obviously see this is a lot lighter than shading green. And then here is Christmas green next to it. So you can just really see that this is just a little bit more toned down, but nice and subtle. So I mixed, like I said, Christmas green and a little bit of black. And that's how I got that. So I'm gonna dip my brush, my corner of my brush in here, and I'm only gonna be shading this bottom portion. So what I've been doing is I start in the corner and I follow that middle line all the way across. Then I'm coming in and I'm kind of fanning down my lines, my shading, kind of going into the corners of the leaf. So same thing over here. Take that paint, fan it down. Notice I did not add any more paint. I'm using what I had already in my brush. That's it. That's all for the shading on there. Nice and easy. Let me clean out my brush again, and we're gonna do our shading brown on our stem, and then I need to blow dry it and we'll start outlining, and this guy will be done here pretty soon. So let's see. All right, y'all, get a little shading brown. These are all separated because I finished painting today at like 1 or 2. I don't know. It was definitely earlier in the day. So my paint's already starting to separate. I'll move this back just a little bit. Okay. Keep it nice and simple over here, nothing too crazy. Boop. Ta-da! Okay, now blow dryer. Obviously, guys, if I was painting this just on my own, I wouldn't be blow drying. I'd just let it sit outside to dry. Letting it dry in the natural air and the natural light is going to be better. So I only use blow dryers if I'm on a live. Other than that, I don't ever use them. All right, now we're gonna do script liner and right back to shading orange. Same color we used to shade, we're also using to outline. So let me turn it back around. I always start at the bottom on this pattern and work my way up. So I like to get a lot of paint on here. Notice how watery this is? That's how I like it whenever I'm outlining. For me, my brush is gonna glide a lot further and I can have a little bit more control over my paint. But the amount of water that you add is also super, super, super dependent on the age of your brush, how broken in your brush is, that sort of thing. The newer the brush, the less water you're gonna need. The older the brush, the more water you're gonna need. So I'm just following those CNC lines that are already etched for me. It might be kind of hard to see the outline because it is the same color, but because I'm applying it with a different brush, it does come out to be a little bit darker once this dries. If you, like I said earlier, if you guys prefer a little bit more pop to it, you can do it with the red orange. In fact, the example I have behind me is outlined in red orange. But if you've been to the store in the last week or so and you've seen the pumpkins I have out there, all of those are outlined in shading orange. So you can kind of see that two-tone shading orange. It's just so pretty. I love it. Let me flip it back around. Let me work on the middle one. I'm worried my hair. Ugh. I showered at like 5 o'clock today and washed and straightened and blow dried and straightened my hair so that I have to get up early tomorrow to go to Pearland, y'all. And anybody who knows me knows I'm not very nice in the morning. In fact, my whole family just stays out of the way and tries not to really talk to me until I have coffee, you know, because that's just the safe thing to do in our household. And so I have to get up really early in the morning and then get filmed and all that good stuff. So I was like, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and do my hair tonight and leave it down. And now it's sticking to my neck and driving me crazy. I should have known that was gonna be happening. The only reason you guys are seeing me go back and forth a little bit is because those lines are etched a little deeper in some spots. Alrighty, almost there, y'all. Anytime I'm outlining, I think I always get a little bit more quiet because I am trying to just pay attention a little more, you know, make sure that I'm staying in my line and getting the look that I'm looking for or that I'm trying to attempt and go for. Alrighty. This is also why you guys are seeing this right now. This is another reason why I finished the pumpkins first before even coming up here and messing with the leaf or the vine or the stem or anything like that. It's because now I'm getting paint all over, you know, the green portions. So whenever I do this, you know, and I'm making stuff to sell, I'm obviously doing a lot at a time. And so by the time I go around the room and I shade all my pumpkins and I go back to the beginning, they're dry. So then I outline them, right? Go around the room, outline everything. So by the time I come back to the first one that I did, it's dry. And so it's easy for me to be able to, you know, move on then and start working on my leaves and the stem, because I have multiple pieces that are in different phases of drying. And so as long as I kind of keep that same rotation around the room, then by the time I get all the way around, everything's dry for me. So it's not, you know, too difficult to get all my stuff done like that. So washing out that brush, I'm gonna put that shading orange up. I'm actually done with the shading orange. Let me show you guys a look so far. So it almost looks like red right now, but it's not. It's shading orange. I think it might just be the lighting. All right, now let me, I gotta blow dry it just a little bit. I gotta try to get this dry so I can get the green in here. We are going to outline the leaf and the vines and shading green. Alrighty. Or I don't think we call this shading green. I think we call it dark green. All right, now I'm getting a little dark green. Using the same script liner. Loading my brush up. This dark green is watered down. Anytime I have paint in a cup, it is watered down. So, at this point, I'm just starting to outline my leaf. I did not use any black on this piece at all. I was trying to keep it a little lighter. So on the leaves, I'm using shading green. And in fact, the leaves and the vines that I'm doing tonight are actually inspired based off of Victoria's triple stack pumpkin that she had posted. I loved her leaves. I loved the turnout of it. And so I've been, you know, learning from her as well as you guys have. So I've been kind of using some of the techniques that I've learned from her on my own stuff. Trying to make sure I stay in my frame over here. Sometimes I do a real good job of getting outside of there. I really wish this was not so wet right now, because it's gonna start carrying orange into the green over here. But we're just gonna have to make the best of it, and I might have to touch up a little bit in the morning after everything's had a little time to dry. Anybody who's ever worked with like acrylic paint, craft paint, and then you come work with this kind of paint, one major difference is the drying times in between. The exterior latex house paint definitely takes a little longer to dry than craft paint. So there we go. There's half of it done. Let's finish the other half. This is also the reason I love the script liner so much. I can kind of turn the brush and bring it up a little bit lighter with my hand and get a more skinny line, or I can bear down on it and get a real nice fat line too. So I just love the versatility of a good script liner. It can really help to create many different strokes for you. Okay, we're gonna outline this leaf. I don't know what the deal is, but up here on my leaves, the CNC cut really deep. So I'm loading a lot more paint than I might normally load, just simply because these lines are very deep. Alrighty, there's a look at the leaves. Only thing we got left to do is put a little bit of shading red on our stem and then add a little bit of highlights, and this one is done. I can't say that this one's super easy, but I think it's fun. It's a lot of fun. And I think you guys will really enjoy getting to play with the plaid and the stripes using baby wipes. You don't even use paintbrushes. How nice is that? So I actually, I'm trying to think, I rollered these. So actually, I was about to say I didn't use any mop brushes, but I did when I applied the lime green and the reindeer brown on my stem. I did use mop brushes on that. But obviously the plaid and the stripes and the polka dots, no brush required. That's always nice. All right, so that's a little bit of shading red, because we all know that whenever we do anything in the brown family, we outline with shading red. So let me do that. Hey, Devin, Renee, Jane, Diana. I'm so sorry, y'all. My phone up here, it looks like it's frozen and it's stopped showing me stuff. But then I look down here and there's a lot more. I look on my iPad and it's giving me a lot more notifications than my phone. All right, y'all. So we're gonna add a little bit of white. You can use Scarecrow or you can use white. I've done both. Let's see. I happen to have Scarecrow closest, so we'll use Scarecrow. It doesn't matter which one you use. They'll both look white. So I'm grabbing a little Scarecrow because it happened to be the first color I saw right over here. So notice on my white highlights, I do load that brush, but then I offload that brush. I don't want the white to be really thick and, you know, stark. I want it to be more light and whimsical. So now I'm gonna take a little bit of this and just kind of bring it in on that vine a little bit. I wish that this green was dry. I would never normally try to do that with it being wet, but that's all right. We're just gonna make the best of it. Kind of come in. I think we're good. All right, y'all. Here is my final look. Ta-da! What do you think? Hey, Crystal. Crystal says, you rock, girl. Thank you, honey. You so sweet. Hey, Victoria. I'm so glad y'all are here, but we're already done. All right, y'all. So here is my final look. So I started with one coat of white. And then on top of the white, I did a Scarecrow white as my base on my striped and plaid pumpkin. And then on my polka dot pumpkin, I did light orange as my base. Then I taped everything off and I did my stripes and my plaid with baby wipes and light orange paint. And then we shaded with shading orange. We outlined with shading orange. And then on our leaves, we have lime green as your base. I did a mixture of Christmas green and black as the shading on the leaf, but you could even do lime green and black. Don't even feel like you have to go get Christmas green. Lime green will work just the same. And then we outlined with dark green. On my stem, the base is reindeer brown. I shaded in shading brown, and then I outlined in shading red. So Danae says, or Victoria says, Danae, I love that idea. A black pumpkin with an orange polka dot. Maybe an orange pumpkin with a bat painted on it. Miss Victoria, I would love to see that, honey. Y'all, Victoria's gonna be doing some kind of repurposing some of the pieces that we've already released for, you know, fall and Christmas, and doing a twist on them her own different way coming up in October. So I'm super excited. I can't wait to see. I love learning from Miss Victoria. But that is our final look for tonight. That on our whimsical version. I believe I've answered all the questions. Paula says, love it. Sue, Kelly, Debbie, Joy, Pam, everybody loves it. Yay, 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 yay. I'm so glad. Hey, Joyce, I'm so sorry you missed me, but we finished our triple stack, and I know so many of you were looking forward to this tutorial as well as I have been. I've been excited to show you guys this and excited to teach you guys this. I just think this pattern's so fun. So I hope that everybody, you know, has a kind of a better grasp. Those of you that were on when I showed you the little trick for shading, I want you guys to come back and tell me or message us or anything. Let us know if that worked for you next time you're painting. I really hope that it'll make shading a little bit easier You know, for those of you that feel like maybe it's a bit of a struggle at the moment. So thank y'all so much for being here tonight. I don't happen to have my calendar in front of me. I know I have 2 lives next week and 2 lives the week after. So we've got like the pumpkin gnome and the vampire gnome and the Indian turkey and something else coming up. So sorry I don't have the calendar, but it is pinned at the very top of our group. But thank you guys so much for being here tonight. If there was any questions that I missed, I will make sure and come back and answer those. So Joyce says, I will watch the whole thing, had work to do. So no worries, Joyce, it's totally here for you. That's exactly why we have these videos, so you guys can go back and refer to them. So Deborah says, yes, we will try it. Pam says, good night, and thank you so much. Thank you, Pam. I'm about to go watch Big Brother with my family, and then we're going to bed. So y'all have a great Thursday evening. I'll see you guys next week. Enjoy your weekend, and y'all send us photos as well as let us know how your next projects are going for y'all. Bye, guys. Have a good night.